The Center for Responsible Lending and CreditSlips.org found out that major banks are actually behind these predatory payday loans. And this is something that we have talked about on the show before. The payday loans are horrible. They're horrendous. Basically, what they do is they take advantage of vulnerable individuals who need money and they need it fast, and they loan out the money with ridiculous APRs. For instance, I'll give you an example that I looked up. There is a payday loan company known as Western Sky. If you are looking for a $1,500 loan, they will actually immediately ask you for $500 up front as a loan fee, which is so stupid.
What's cool is you can go borrow that from another place that doesn't ask for a fee to pay for your new loan.
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, that's basically what these people are doing. It has a name. It's called churning.
Yeah, churning, exactly.
Yeah.
So you immediately have to pay back $500, and your APR, and I'm not making this up, is 234.25%.
It's incredible. They were talking about average interest rates of 455%.
Yes.
In this, can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine. It's happening all over the country. And it's not these little independent companies. It's actually the big banks using these companies as another way to profit, okay?
Because these companies have to get the money from somewhere.
They do.
Go get a low interest loan from a bank because you're solvent, and take that and give it to people, pass it on down to the people. It is basic, screwing the poor.
Absolutely, and that's what happens again and again. Who cares if, we took taxpayer money to get us out of this economic disaster that we created ourselves? Let's go turn around and screw them over as much as we possibly can. So let me give you some of the numbers that we found. Major banks provided over $1.5 billion in credit available to fund major payday lending companies. So they're spending a ton of money when it comes to these payday companies. The major banks indirectly fund approximately 550,000 payday loans per year, totaling $16.4 billion in short-term payday loans. And again, I love that you mentioned churning, because it is a vicious cycle. They take out these loans and they realize maybe it helps me in that very minute to pay a certain bill, but at the same time, I'm digging a deeper hole because now I have to pay this massive interest.
Exactly. And that's what happens to people who have multiple credit cards. It's no different. You take out a credit card, you get too far in debt, you take out another credit card because if you keep your payments up, your credit rating isn't hurt. You take out another credit card, you take a cash advance off of that to pay this credit card. And that's exactly what's happening here. But it's happening to working people who are getting an advance on their salary, and by the time their next paycheck comes, it's already spoken for because they have to pay back these payday loan companies. And then the big banks are getting money, shockingly getting money, from these payday loan companies.
Right. The last thing that we found from the story is that all of these above-mentioned banks receive TARP. That's obvious, but again, they take our taxpayer money when they need it, they turn around, they screw us over. It's unbearable, and the government says that they're going to do something to regulate this and take care of it, but they've been very slow in doing so.
Right.
So these payday companies are all over the place, all throughout the country. They continuously lend out this money at these really high interest rates, and people keep digging themselves in deeper and deeper debt.
Yeah, in rescuing the banks, you are obviously supporting the bad with whatever good you think may have been part of rescuing the banks, and there was good reason to do so, and keeping our financial institutions solvent and trustworthy prevents a run on the banks, and as little as I know about the economy, a run on the banks, not good. And the fact that those banks were rescued, but the fact that they were rescued without any sort of rules attached to that rescue, that it was just, all right, you need $100, here's $100, go do whatever the hell you want with it. This kind of stuff happens when there's just this lack of regulating what the banks want to do.